This show is produced by the Harwood Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris. We love making this show available to you free of charge. And if you'd like to help us keep it that way, make a contribution to our Karma Jar or become a show sponsor. To learn more, visit our website. In this episode, I'm going to be taking you on a photo walk. Now, what a photo walk is where you come along with me and I take you to a type of place that you may have near where you live. And what I do is I sort of walk you through what I'm looking for, what I'm seeing, and what I'm trying to capture when I'm in that environment. Today I'm going to be taking you to Muir Woods, which is a beautiful national park here in Northern California. It has beautiful trees, really interesting lighting, and there are some special techniques and things that I want to share with you so when you go into an environment like this, you can have real success with your camera. Well, my first suggestion when you go to photograph in the woods or forest is to take two lenses. I take my telephoto and my wide-angle lens, and I'm switching back and forth between the two during my entire visit. Now, with my wide-angle lens, it's really good for getting the height of these trees. When you're shooting up like this, you're trying to get the idea of the scope and the height, and that's what this image captures. But I'm also looking to get these groupings of trees. This was actually called the cathedral. And then off to the side, I saw these two little spindly trees amongst these two big redwoods. I'm also looking for things that seem a little out of place, like this one little tree growing out of the branch of that one sort of fallen tree. And then of course just any kind of weird formations that you see. Your wide angle lens will be great for that. I do have to tell you though, my telephoto was my main lens that I used in the forest on this day. With it, it lets me get really close in to some of these environments in the forest that I have to stay kind of far back on, so I can get up close on these beautiful ferns and really get close in on some of the interesting plant life. And in this one, I was even able to capture some of the spider web that was around it. So with your telephoto lens, you can get way up in the trees and get some of the things that there's no way you can get with your wide-angle lens. So whether you're using a wide-angle lens or a telephoto, there's a number of things that I'm looking for as I walk through the forest. And the first thing is light. I'm looking up in the trees and see if I can capture that little glint of sunlight. You can also get some great light through the leaves of the trees. And don't forget to look on the ground and see if any of that sunlight is filtering through. Very dramatic, almost silhouette-like images you can capture. And because there's so much green in the forest, if you can get some light that bounces off some of the wood, you can get these beautiful warm red colors. And then sometimes the sun is absolutely pointing you to look at a particular image along the path. Now, besides light, I'm also looking for texture, and I'm looking to see mainly in the leaves and the bark of the trees, see if I can find some other kind of interesting shapes. I also, when I'm playing with texture, like to play with the aperture. And in this shot, you can see I got that really watercolory background while I got the really interesting texture of the leaves in front. And if you find any ferns there on the ground, you can do the combination of the light and the texture. And in this one, I was able to create almost a silhouette. And then of course, look and see on the trees if you can find any moss. That can be a wonderful source of texture. Now, besides light and texture, I'm always on the lookout for some movement, and in the forest there's usually some water somewhere around there. And with that, you're going to want to play with your time value setting and see what kinds of images you can get with that. And when I'm near the water, I'm always looking for reflection. So in this shot, half of it I'm shooting through to the pebbles in the bed of the little stream, and then on the right side, that's all reflection of the trees up above. Now, because you're shooting in all these bizarre positions, you want to make sure that you've got your body stable and comfortable. So here are a few tips for that. One is when you're standing, you want to make sure you have a wide stance so that your body is really planted and you can keep your camera steady. Also, lean or sit on the ledge of something so that you can stabilize. And when you're shooting straight up, your neck can get really tired. So my suggestion, if there's a bench, lay down on it. The world looks really interesting when you're shooting up from that position. Well, I hope you'll be inspired to go and photograph a forest or woods near your house. Now, if you'd like to take the show notes with you, go to our website and go to the Photography Guild show notes page, and I'll have them there for you. If you do go out and you get some great photos, don't forget to share them on our Flickr group site so we can all enjoy them. And of course, if you have any questions for me, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.